Hi there, Mark.
Hi, Elizabeth.
How you doing?
I am doing all right. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good.
Glad to have a mask off.
Yes, I think we all are.
It was really funny. You know, they had the lunch today, the
Oh,
Thanksgiving
yes.
lunch,
Yeah.
and I encountered a few people in the parking lot. I was walking in, said, "Aren't we wearing masks anymore?" I said, "No.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving."
I know this a couple of times today. I actually started to slip my mask on, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't have to do that." So,
I still
yes,
have one
it
in my
was-
car, however.
Oh yeah, I probably have 12 in my car. Yeah, I've got to go through and just throw them out and hopefully, well, I should save a couple, I guess.
Well, with the variant, I switched to paper disposable masks. I was using
Yeah.
fabric up until then, but
Yeah, I did the same thing. I bought a couple of fabric ones, but wore them for a short period of time and then switched and back to the disposable ones.
yeah.
As much as I don't like, throwing away, I'd rather wash them and reuse them, but that's not possible right now. All right, we got 3 participants. Okay. So, Elizabeth, you're going to have to listen to Mary Jo's presentation one more time. Yeah, I know.
I'll try not to have my lips move with hers.
Okay. Yeah, and don't nod off, please.
No. I was testing the waters today to see how some of the people who have heard her presentation feel. It was very interesting. I thought we'd have holdouts, people who really wanted to keep the old Groton
Sure.
Senior Center. And
Yep.
no, it's, it makes sense. We need to make a change. It's going to take us a while. And so it's good.
Attendees. Francis, allowed to talk.
Hello,
Hi, Fran.
how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
No, getting by.
All right, I've got a phone number. I'm not sure who it is. I guess I will allow them to talk. Not sure who it is.
Can you see me? Because I don't have a.
No, we cannot.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, Don, are you,
Just got
let's
in.
see, 441, wait a minute, 860-441-6636?
Who, me?
Yeah,
I don't know.
no,
I'm on
no,
my,
you're, okay,
I'm on my iPod, something.
okay. All right. Oh, that
Okay.
may be Mary Jo, because, let's see, analyst. Oh,
I'm on an iPad, Mark.
okay,
I don't know why I'm not showing up, though.
yeah,
Can you see me?
I cannot. I can
Okay,
hear
but-
you.
Okay. Let's see what we can do here. There you go. How's that?
Oh, there we go, good.
All right.
So just so you guys know, I'm on my kid's computer because my husband needed the family one for his meeting. And I have the camera on, but I see no options in my menu to go video. So I guess I'll just stay audio.
Okay,
Fran, could it be your Zoom setting?
I'm not a Zoomer. I don't see any place to change the settings. I don't know that I'm on as a panelist. I think I'm on as a guest.
Let's see.
Oh.
I'm not sure
attendees.
though.
Yes, you are an attendee with talking permitted.
Yeah, I don't have an option to turn a camera on. There's no video button for me. But I'm okay with that. Y'all don't need to see it. It's fine. But
Well, it's how it usually is, isn't it? I think
Usually
I've
what?
only, I've only seen you once on the video, Francis.
I think I was on the video last time, right?
Yes,
That
you
was the
were.
only-
Yes.
That's the only time I'm speaking of.
Well, Mike and I tend to have the meetings on the same night, and
Yeah, no,
I
I'm-
get booted from the good computer. So
It's all good, Francis. It's all good.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing the RTM thing tonight, so he needs the one that has like he has to present. So
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yep.
So are we waiting for Mary Jo, Mark?
Well, her name is up as a panelist. She's got her hand up.
It looks
I
like
see
you
her hand is up.
Yeah, but I can't hear her. And I can't see her.
I don't see her at all either. Weird.
know, just her name.
Yeah,
I don't even see her name. I just see your three faces.
huh. Yeah, no, she's listed. I guess I see her because I set up the meeting. She's listed as a panelist.
I see a yellow hand up,
Yeah,
like stop or something. I don't know.
She has a question.
So do we have a quorum is the question.
we do, yes.
Okay.
All right, well, here, wait a second. Let me, yeah, there's no chat or anything. You're online. Yeah, I was
Do you
just
have
trying
her
to
cell
see.
number?
Yeah, actually, I think I do.
Give her a call and
Yeah. All right, let's. Hey, Mary Jo. Ah. Yeah, I don't have you muted, so. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Huh. All right, let's. Yeah, it's got you listed as a panelist, so, and your hand is up, but all I can do is. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah, although, well, yeah, let's give that a try and hopefully we don't get, like that reverb where you hear it twice. So we'll give that a try. All right.
So Mark, is my setting the same as it normally is? Because it definitely looks very different on my end. I don't have any menu features that I normally have on a Zoom. All I have is the option to raise a hand and mute and unmute myself. There's no chat. I can't see the other people. Like I can't even see, like I said, I just see you three. That's it.
That's all I see is I see three, but we hear you very clearly. I speak for myself.
Tom's talking, but I can't hear a word he's saying.
All right, Fran, I made you a panelist. So let's see if that helps. Yeah, Mary Jo, we're still trying to get one of the commissioners set up. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there she is.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the option now and I see Mary Jo. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
that was my fault. Sorry. All right,
And you-
Dom, I think we're ready to start.
Okay.
Mary Jo is having, her computer at work doesn't have a camera or a microphone, so she oftentimes has to call in on her phone. So I've put it on speaker. So hopefully you guys can hear her once she starts doing her presentation. And before we get started, if I could, I'd just like to make a recommendation that we move Mary Jo's presentation up after roll call, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Sounds good. So she will call in.
Well,
and
she's going to use my phone, and hopefully you guys can hear her as
Okay.
she's talking through my phone. If
Okay.
not, I'll tell her to speak louder or something. I don't know. We'll
All
get
right.
it figured out.
So let's call the meeting to order. It's 7:10. And it appears that all the commission members are here. And that's it. We need to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Would anybody like to?
I can make the motion.
Okay,
And I can second the motion to accept them.
okay, so moved, and the minutes are approved. Mark, or any other commissioners, any citizens petitions and or comments? Okay, town council referrals. Is that, Mark, any town council referrals?
No, nope.
Okay, did you want Mary Jo to try to call in? I've started going down the list.
Yeah, I think she's still with us. She's here by phone. And so Mary Jo, why don't you give it a start, and maybe the commission can give me a thumbs up if they can hear her.
Okay, and I'm gonna try, can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes, let's see, share screen.
So am I correct that in the minutes, this goes under the senior center rebranding?
Okay,
Yes.
Okay,
whoop,
can you all see that?
Whoops,
Yes,
we could for a
yes.
second.
Thrive
I have it on
55.
share.
Um,
I'm seeing it, you're not seeing it.
I can see it.
I see it.
All right, yeah, Mary Jo, everybody sees it.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Just nod your
Yes.
head. The reason why I'm here tonight is because for the past 2 years, Mark and I started with looking at the barriers and perceptions about using the senior center. So we had hired Great Blue to do the barriers and perception study 2 years ago. And one of the findings that came out of the study was that the word senior was actually a barrier to people utilizing the center. And we talked to people that were users, that were kind of moderate fly-by-night users that came for 1 or 2 things. But we also did a focus group with non-users and talked to non-users at the center. So we did get a lot of good feedback about that. I'm going to the second page. So we hired Maria Miranda to come up with a way to rebrand while not using that word senior, but really to reflect what we do for our senior community and what our goals are. So Maria Miranda's team came up with the name Thrive 55 Plus Active Living Center, and there will be for a period of time the wording powered by the Groton Senior Center. Now, the icon that you see, or the new logo, is reflective of an action, person making an action or moving. We're trying to say that we're not quite our grandparent senior center, that, you know, we are out there being active, doing things, part of the community. We're not just playing cards or bingo and having lunch, which was the typical senior center from the 1970s. So the icon reflects that. The colors are also colors that reflect our area. We're coastal, we're oceanfront. And if you look at both the colors and the icon, they are very similar to what our department logo is. So we feel like we reflect part of the department through the colors and the new logo. The name, it again was very extensively researched. And I think Mark can agree, we started with a whole bunch of different names, not Thrive 55 Plus. And we went through a series of 2 or 3 times of vetting out different names. And that's where we ended with the Thrive 55 Plus. We did the same thing with the logo. We vetted the logo, we looked at different logos, and this was the one that was popular. Now, for the icon, the name, and the colors, we had a committee, and it was comprised of users and non-users of the center. So we felt really confident in the end with what we arrived at. Lastly, on this sheet, you'll see that we talk about the font. We want it to be readable, we want it to be modern, and we want it to be simple. And that's why we selected a specific font to go with this icon. Now, going back to your first handout, how can you as a commission help us in this endeavor? The first is be confident we did our research. We spent a little over 2 years working on this process, testing the logo, testing the name, and putting it out there for feedback. And we were also supported by the town council in our choice to change the name. We listened to people. We heard a lot of people. We did online research as well as focus groups so that people could verbally talk about, you know, the change in name. And it was funny how it didn't matter what age people were. They could be 55 or they could be 85. If they didn't feel they were a senior, that was one of the reasons that they didn't come. So again, that's where that word senior was a barrier. We also want people to feel the comfort that the Groton Senior Center, the staff are here, what we do is still here. It's really the name and the branding that's changed. And that's why we added powered by the Groton Senior Center. Sort of segue to the new name, but we feel it's better than saying formerly known as, really like powered by, because I really feel the staff here really is out there trying to get things done for the senior older adult population, and to also add more community events and do things for the community. Lastly, just distill key points about the brand. So if somebody asks you or comments about it, you can, you know, simply say the icon reflects community, it reflects people, and that's what we're all about. The name is really where we want people to be thriving in our community. The colors are the proximity to our shore and also our naval heritage. And lastly, the font is clean, readable, and modern. So when you're out there in the community, if there are people talking about why they made that name change, you have the background to be able to say, I know why, I can tell them why, and support this change. We're trying to make it as a positive way and to draw people who otherwise would not come because of a need to the center. Mark, did you have anything else to add to that?
No, I guess the only thing that I would add is that both the study done by Great Blue, the Perceptions and Barriers study, and the study done by Maria Miranda, both of those studies were paid for, not from taxpayer dollars, but from program fees collected through programs offered at the senior center. I don't know, are there any questions from the commission?
Well, I have an observation, and having seen the logo now a couple of times, I finally saw the
I can't
person.
hear her.
Oh, okay.
No, that's all right. Elizabeth, go ahead and say that again, and I'll just repeat it to Mary Jo.
Seeing the logo a couple of times, it's only tonight that I finally recognized the person. You know, I must not be a visual person. I may not be the only one who didn't see the person in the logo. So
Oh, okay.
when you're doing presentations, that it might not hurt just to outline the head and the shoulders so that everyone in the audience sees what the icon is supposed to portray.
Yeah, so Mary Jo, what Elizabeth said was this is her third time seeing the presentation, she actually just realized and now understands the person in the center. So she suggested that as we move forward with other presentations, that we spend a little bit of time and kind of really identify that image in the center of the logo is actually a person, an illustration of a person that's being active, which is what the folks that use the 55 plus crowd that use the Go to Thrive, that's what it reflects.
Yeah, okay, definitely.
So I think the logo is really good. I like how the colors were
I can't
explained.
hear Tom either.
Okay. Yeah, he's just saying that he likes the colors, he likes the logo.
The
Great.
one thing that I find a bit of irony in is that we changed the name. I love the name. I absolutely love the name. But then when you say powered by the Groton Senior Center, it appears where I don't get that.
Yeah,
No.
so he's
So
saying,
we tried to get rid of that, and we didn't.
yeah, so the powered by Groton Seniors, Dom's saying it's seems contradictory that we would spend this time trying to come up with a new logo and then include in there powered by Groton Senior Center. So Don, that's a temporary thing. We will
Yeah.
probably do that for 6 months or so.
Gotcha.
And the branding consultant said that we needed to kind of create a bridge from the senior center to Thrive 55, and powered by Groton Senior Center was that bridge, but that bridge is slowly going to be dismantled.
Gotcha. See, I would have said powered by active adults.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
Yeah.
But I
So-
understand the bridge.
Yeah,
That's great.
and that part of it is just temporary and will eventually disappear.
Good. Well, good job.
Thank you. All right, Mary Jo, I think you're done.
Okay, thank you all. Have a good evening.
All right.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your hard work, Mary Jo.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. I think we're at town council referrals. Does anybody have any question? Well, I should step back. Anybody have any questions, other questions regarding the presentation that Mary Jo did for Mark to? No?
No.
Okay. Town council referrals, any?
There are none.
Okay. Correspondence and communications to the commissioners.
So I have some, I usually do. The announcement came out about the masking changes as far as the town's policy with removing mandatory masking in the town. And people are wondering how that affects the Groton Parks and Rec activities for all of them, but in particular for the ones that involve the kids who haven't been able to get vaccinated yet.
Yeah, I inquired about vaccinated versus unvaccinated, and at this point, the town is not making any distinctions in how people, what people need to do when they come to the community center or to the senior center. There is no distinguishing between vaccinated and unvaccinated. We are encouraging people to continue to follow the guidance provided by Ledgely Health District. And, that has been, when you're inside, wear a mask, keep your distance, wash your hands frequently, but there is no longer a mandate requiring that people wear the masks.
Mark, do you know, is the district, or Francis, you have school-age children? Are they still masked?
Yeah, in schools, everybody's still masked. And I think
Okay.
that's going at least until, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they said at least until the winter break.
I see.
But keep in mind, like, no kids under 12 are vaccinated yet.
Right. I
Zero.
know. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
And the decision, the change in the mandate was by the town manager was, well, if anyone read the article in the paper, I mean, he's been in close contact with the director of Ledgely Health District, and his decision was based on recommendations from Ledgely Health District.
Any other questions or concerns?
Well, I have a concern that we're gonna lose kids participating in activities if they're not vaccinated for the time being, because I know the winter session is starting up next week, right?
It is.
And there's a change in the mask mandate. How does that affect people who already signed up thinking that there would be the mandate in place? But
Sure.
then the change, they might not be comfortable with it. And I know my kids aren't signed, my unvaccinated kids aren't signing up for anything. So
Yep.
how is that going to work with the Parks and Rec?
So if people are not comfortable due to the fact and the change in the mask mandate and they've already signed up for a class, they should call our department and they will be refunded.
So it really
Anything-
just goes based on what the town manager says. It's not like Parks and Rec can make a separate decision about that.
That's correct. He has the ultimate authority to make that decision.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along. I guess you're on, Mark. It's reports.
Okay. So just to quickly hit some of the highlights of the monthly report, provide a little bit of update. We have reached an agreement with Human Services to provide free Christmas trees. These trees are coming from a small tree farm in Groton that were raised or grown for the purpose of making Christmas trees available to those families that, buying a Christmas tree would just be a burden for them. So We've identified 12 trees right now. Like I said, it's a small tree farm. Human Services is going to, they're taking care of the promotion of this, and they are taking names of families that are interested in getting trees, and at a predetermined date, sometime in December, the park staff will cut those trees down and deliver them to Human Services, and the families can come over and pick up the trees.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's a program that we're going to continue to do. The neighbors that originally came up with this idea are just thrilled to see these, the little seedlings that they put in have now grown into trees that are appropriate and ready to be cut. And they're really ecstatic about seeing this project over a number of years come together.
That's great.
Yeah. Speaking of wrapping up things, we finished construction on the disc golf course. Last week, we've got all the tee pads in, all the baskets in, and we're now working through putting together a list of all the different signs we need. At each tee pad will be a sign that tells the player the distance between the tee pad and the basket, the general direction of, whether it's a dog leg left or dog leg right or whatever. I'm not a golfer. And, the distance and also the elevation, or the change in elevation. So we're going to be doing that, and then also putting up a sign that shows the general layout of all of the holes. And this spring we'll have a kind of a ribbon cutting event.
Nice.
But, the word is already out about this, about the disc golf. In fact, when we were putting the baskets in, there was guys out throwing to the baskets just as we were putting them in. So word has gotten out.
Mark, where is it located?
Oh, Don, I can't tell you that.
That's
No.
top secret?
No. Yeah, it's in the Deerfield development on Heather Glen Road or Lane, I forget. Heather Glen Road, I think. There's a park there with about 15 to 20 parking spots, and if you pull into that parking lot, there is a trail off to the left just past the basketball court, and that brings you into what is formerly known and going to continue to be called the Millwood Creek Disc Golf Course.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Is this the one off Heather Glen?
Heather Glen, yes. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I don't know that parking lot will hold 15 to 20 cars, but
Well,
I would say maybe 10.
yeah, and we are working on a plan to have overflow parking. There's another open space, probably about 4 or 5 houses down. On the right, there's a driveway between 2 houses, which leads out into an open field, and we're working on getting plans together for overflow parking there.
Mark,
But there's also parking allowed on the road. There's no restrictions along that road, but we'd prefer to have folks go down to the overflow parking, because that's a narrow road, and Fred, I think you probably see cars parked on both sides of the road, and it makes it a little tight. So we're going to encourage folks to use that overflow parking with signage.
Mark, do players need to bring their own discs?
Yes, they do. And it's amazing. I told you about these 2 guys, folks that are really into it. They have like this backpack, and they have 15 or 20 discs, and they'll look at, the upcoming hole, and they'll say, okay, I'm going to need this disc or that disc. It's kind of like pulling clubs out of your golf bag, depending on the shot that you have. They have discs for different types of shots.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, yep. Yep. Just to let you know, the council did approve the name change from the King property to the Sassacus Nature Preserve, and we're working on getting a sign up there. We actually just confirmed with we went out to bid, and we have awarded the bid to a company that's going to be making the sign, and hopefully it can go in this winter. I don't expect that frost is going to be an issue putting it in.
That's great.
The other thing that I wanted to let folks know about was the ARPA, which is the American Rescue Plan Act. I think I might have mentioned this at the last meeting. I don't remember.
You did.
I did. Okay. Well, when you get to be my age, you forget what you've already said. And so if you go to greatergroton.com, there is that on that website, you can fill out, there's a list of about 6 or 8 different buckets of potential investment opportunities that the town could make. There is a bucket for Parks and Recreation. And so I would encourage folks to go to that website and, check off whichever bucket you feel would benefit the town the most. We've got 8.5 million in these funds to spend. The Parks and Recreation Department has put together a list of projects. There's probably like 10 or 12 projects that we've identified that we would hope that money would be directed towards completing some of those projects. That list is on the department's webpage. So if you go to that, you can see all of those different projects listed. So again, I would encourage you and your friends to go. The last time I checked, the screen will show you the percentage of votes for a particular bucket. And I think the last time we checked, the Parks and Recreation bucket had the most votes. So that's encouraging. And hopefully that whatever money gets divided up will be reflected in what people have said, that we'll get a percentage of that money.
The thing I liked about that site, Mark, is that if you clicked on the Parks and Rec bucket, it takes you to another screen where you are asked to prioritize all of the projects.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So it really drills down nicely into what the details are.
Right. And that was something that we added because we felt like just having a list of, 6 or 8 buckets, you check off a bucket, but it didn't really tell you, okay, what project in particular you were interested in. So by adding that kind of next layer, people can check off and, like you said, prioritize the different projects, which hopefully, the decision makers will use that information when they're looking at allocating money to each bucket, and will also help the department make decisions on what projects. We've got projects that we think are important, but that may not reflect. We think it reflects what the community wants, but this is just a kind of a checks and balances.
Mhm.
So about a month ago at the senior center, they had a very similar activity with buckets,
Yes.
and rec was under and included in one of them. And people
Right.
signed up and stated what they would like to see the money provided to.
Yes.
What activity or whatever.
Yeah.
But on that date, those projects that you speak of were not listed there. So people wrote in what they would have liked to have seen. Now, did you read any of those results?
I have. I
Okay.
went up, I saw the board was displayed up at the annex in the lobby, and there was all kinds of Post-it notes.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
went up
yeah.
and I read those, and we petitioned the planning department to say, we really didn't think that Parks and Recreation ought to be under water and sewer and infrastructure. We felt that it should have we should have our own bucket. And
Good point.
and they agreed, but it didn't take place before the initial rollout. But I did see the results. Like I said, I have seen all of the, in fact, I took pictures when I went up there and I shared them with the staff so that they could see comments that the people had made, that night of the public hearings.
Now, there was a lot for rec, and that was, I thought,
There was.
a good thing. Yeah.
Yes, yep. Yeah, so I think that's about it for the director's report.
Okay, so
I had one question. Mark, I don't
Yep.
remember what the 3240 account is. You mentioned here there's a shortfall.
Oh, yeah, so that's our special revenue. So the department operates with two accounts. The 1064, which is the general fund, so that's taxpayer dollars, fund that account. And then there's also the 3240 account, which is the special revenue fund. So program fees go into the special revenue fund, and those fees pay for direct program expenses. So instructors, materials and supplies, and things like that. Because of COVID, we have lost, the special revenue fund has decreased significantly. Because we still had some expenses, but we weren't having the revenue that came in. When we ran camp, not this summer, but the previous summer, we were restricted to the number of kids that we could have, but we needed actually more staff in order to comply with, the camp guidelines. So that hurt us. We've continued to serve food at the senior center, but we haven't been able to serve as many meals. We did the grab and go, people would drive up and get meals, which was very successful. But each time someone purchases a meal, a little bit of that money that's left over goes into the food concession special revenue fund. Well, that's been reduced also. So we're working with the finance department and the town manager to try to right that ship. We feel like when we get past COVID, that we'll be able to get that special revenue fund back into the positive. But right now we need to make an adjustment in order to kind of make that fund whole. And we're working with, like I said, working with finance and the town manager to try to figure out a plan to best do that.
Thank you.
did the pickleball funds go into 3240, that budget that we're speaking of?
Yes, yep.
So as along the same lines, Mark, as we, as you know, have been playing outside.
Yes.
And I was supposed to meet with Ben about coming in and making a schedule. Contacted him about this Friday as we try to get people in.
Sure.
But the same times were not available. So I was told anytime before 6. Now tonight we played, that's why I was late. And we had, I don't know, 20, 24 people outside.
Yeah.
Friday, I know it's gonna rain, so anytime before 6. So again, people are not used to coming in. And they didn't want to come in because of wearing masks.
Sure.
So without the mask, that's a good thing for the program and building money. But I guess our times have been lost. So, and one time I went in and I noted that there was maybe 6 people using the gym for yoga. And that seemed to me like a waste of space. Whereas they could have used one of the 2 wooden floors in the dance area, which at the time weren't being used.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I just bring that to your attention as we try to make our way back.
Yeah.
Earlier playing time, if we have to, we will, but it won't be bringing in the same revenue because of people at work. That's all.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I know we just added some space in A wing. It was the library
Right.
or the media center. We stripped the carpet off of that. We've put down mats, and I know that Groton Youth Cheerleading is using it, and I think, and I need to confirm with Ben, but I think yoga may be using that space also. So I know we're trying to juggle a whole bunch of different uses, and
Yep.
we've also got basketball coming up, youth basketball. We had our draft, and teams have been selected, and I'm sure practice is probably going to start either just before Thanksgiving or right after. So yeah.
And typically, what are the times for the basketball?
Oh, geez. Well, I would say 5 o'clock or after, because the coaches are all volunteers, and, most of them, moms and dads are working, and, so practice can't start much earlier probably than 5:30 or so.
And the big problem is that the district is not allowing use of the gyms. Is that still?
No, we are able to use the gyms, but they
Oh.
do have to wear masks when they're practicing. So I think
Gotcha.
there's going to be a strong interest among all the coaches to try to get as much time in the community center gym versus some of the school gyms. Just
Gotcha.
yeah, yep, yeah,
I was just trying to figure out what you guys were juggling. That's all.
yeah.
And that helped.
Good. Okay.
I guess we're at Trails Task Force.
Hey,
Uh,
can I ask a question? Is
Sure.
my hand showing up as raised, or is
Oh,
that not
it
working?
is. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I just wanted to make sure I was using it right.
Yeah.
We were told, by the way, I was part of the yoga group, and we were told that it would be located in one of the A wing rooms next session, the one with the
Okay.
padding on the floor. So
Okay.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
answers anything, but I think
Yeah.
Lori got that answer right from Ben. But
Okay.
I was supposed to ask a question earlier, and I forgot to do that, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. What's the contact tracing policy for Parks and Rec? Like, if a person is diagnosed with COVID and they were participating in Park and Rec activities, how does that work for contact tracing?
That's a great question. I'm not sure that I'm not going to answer that because I don't know exactly what we're doing as far as contact tracing.
Sherry
just-
worked. Sherry
Okay, go ahead.
volunteered for Ledge Light, having been a nurse, a PhD nurse and whatnot, and she gave vaccines as well. So I think, Francis, part of the answer to your question would be for Rec to call Ledge Light, and they would do the contact tracing.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically what would take place. The Rec department would not do the contract tracing,
No.
but Ledge Light would.
So Ledge Light would have to contact Park and Rec to find out who was participating in the
No.
activities?
No, Rec would contact.
Oh, yeah, Rec would
Ledge.
contact Ledge Light, But then
Correct.
Ledge Light would have to reach out and find out who the
The
participants
names,
were.
correct,
So it'll be back and forth.
yes.
Okay.
It's so important for participants to be signing in when they enter any of the buildings. It's absolutely critical because that's the only way to do the contact tracing.
Right.
Or for the activities, yeah.
Yes.
Because it's hard. I know within schools, there's like, you have to, like, contact tracing involves who was in a certain number of feet with somebody for so many minutes, but that doesn't really apply if you're doing sports. Because you could have
Right.
been, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just seems like it would be a very difficult thing to do. And I just wanted to make sure there was a clear policy on that.
So for example, like if it was pickleball or for yoga for that matter, yoga, you would, when you have contract tracing, you need a list and their phone numbers of everybody there. And every night for pickleball, we would write down their names and their telephone numbers and go from there. So that's something I'm sure some of the other rec programs would be doing.
Thank you. So in my answer, I'm typing that your understanding is that the Parks and Rec Center would hopefully be notified by the person.
Right.
Position.
Keep
And
our fingers
then-
crossed.
Yeah.
Right,
And then they would contact Ledge Light, and Ledge Light would, okay, this is all predicated on the person contacting Parks and Rec, though, to let them know.
that's exactly right. Yep,
Yeah, I mean, we can't reach out to Ledge Light and say, hey, who's a new confirmed case today? They can't share that information. So it starts off with an honor system of somebody saying, hey, I was diagnosed with COVID, and I'm participating in this class.
So
right.
maybe that should be something that should be part of the sign up process. Like, you agree to all these things about health and wellness. Maybe part of the sign up process at this point is that if you're agreeing to do this program, you're also agreeing that you will notify Parks and Rec if there is a positive case of a participant.
Right. Yep. Okay. All right, golf course? I
Golf
think is
course,
next. Yes, so I sent you the monthly revenue report for October, and we are still trending ahead of last year. Last year was our best year in years, and we're continuing to exceed last year. And I was out there today, not playing golf, but meeting with the staff, and it was very busy, and they're booked for tomorrow, and they're booked for Saturday, and they're booked for Sunday. What's hurting us now is daylight. Around after about 1:30, nobody is coming to the course because everyone wants to get a round of 18 in, and with it getting dark at 4:30, that's not possible. So seasonally adjusted play still remains strong.
I'm impressed at the number of season passes that you're still selling in October. That's
Yeah, so since we went from, we kind of had a defined season, and it usually started April 1st and would go to March 30th of the following year. Since we've gone away from that, and whenever you sign up, you get 12 months. That's made such a huge difference.
Yeah.
that was the best thing you did, Mark.
Yeah,
great.
that was, yeah, that's just made a huge difference. And then the other big change, and I know we've mentioned this before, was adding a couple of more categories between you know, a 20-year-old, and even though by the time somebody's 18, they're considered an adult, but there was kind of this, you went right from paying kids fees to paying full adult fees, and there was quite a big difference in those fees. And now, you know, the millennials, or whatever the 20-year-olds are called now, you know, there's a category for them to,
Was it
it's not quite as
associates? Something like-
financially painful for them,
Yeah.
you know, and we've seen a huge increase in the associate and the associate plus.
Okay.
Trails,
was-
yeah. Trails
Trails,
Coordinating Task Force, there was no meeting. We have a meeting coming up in December, so I'll have an update for the December meeting.
okay, along those same lines, Mark, I have a question. Regarding the Pequot Woods and adjacent properties, was that
Yes.
ever approved by the town council for them to annex those adjacent properties?
Yeah, so Dom, I have reached out to one of the board members who's an attorney, because he wanted to look at all of the deeds to make sure
Yeah.
that those, and I have not heard back from him, and I've sent him 3 or 4 emails.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so, and I think the chair of the Pequot Woods Board has also reached out, and I've asked him a couple of times, have you heard from that board member? And he has not either, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Athletic fields,
There was supposed to be a meeting in October. That was pushed off until November. I'm not sure that a date has been set. So there's really, at this point, not anything to report.
Okay.
Other than at some point, we'll be going to the council to try to get them to make a decision or provide some guidance on how they want to see the Colchester property developed.
agency accreditation.
So I think I mentioned last meeting, I got an email saying, okay, you guys are up this year. And we could select 2 different weeks to propose 2 different weeks to have a visiting team come out. So right now, I have not heard back from them, but the 2 weeks are May 2nd through the 6th and May 16th through the 20th. And
And
once
how might we help you?
well, at this point, we're just trying to wrap up some of the loose ends. And we're planning on, once we hear back on the date, then we kind of back into when we have to send it to them. I think it's 10 weeks before the visiting team comes, we have to send our packet in. Prior to that, though, there's a mentor is assigned to each agency that's going through accreditation. And our intent is to send the application packet to the mentor, just to have them look through it prior to it going off to NRPA, just to make sure there wasn't anything that we'd missed. We feel pretty confident that we've done a good job with this application, but you know, having a fresh set of eyes is certainly can be helpful. And you know, I've asked for an on-site visit versus a virtual visit. The NRPA has not made a decision about whether they're going to do on-site visits or virtual visits. I wanted to do an on-site visit because I wanted the visiting team to have an opportunity to see some of our facilities. And I think that's I've done visits the last 2 years and they were virtual, and it's hard to get a sense of, the different facilities and getting to know the staff and getting to know the commission and, getting to know the mayor when it's just virtual, by Zoom. So we'll have to see what the NRPA decides, and it may come down to visiting people that sign up to be on the visiting team. They may not feel comfortable. They may prefer to do a virtual. So we'll just have to see. And as soon as I know, I'll let everybody know. But I would expect if it's an on-site visit, that part of the visit that week would be an opportunity for the commission to sit down with the visiting team and just, answer whatever questions they may have.
Okay. All right, any unfinished business? I think we did have some unfinished business, and that was the succession document or
Administrative
evaluation.
policies. Yeah, I think it was the administrative policies that,
Okay,
and I sent in the packet last week a revised administrative policies. I think I got everything that Elizabeth had noted. Hopefully we did.
It looked great, Mark, because I did keep my notes and went through it.
Oh, good.
The just one, and this is simply editorial, on the up page where you list the policies under
Yes.
administration, the bottom two, 108 and 109, you need to take them out because you eliminated them from the body.
Yep. Okay.
And thank you for adding the page numbers.
Yes.
But I thought it flowed nicely. I mean, it's a lot of material.
All right. So as this is part of agency accreditation, we would need a motion to accept these. And I guess the motion would be to accept the administrative policies with the two noted changes on the first page.
I'd be happy to make that motion. As amended.
I'll second that motion.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, perfect. Great, thank you.
Okay, the park substance abuse policy.
Yeah, so this is a follow-up to the presentation at the last meeting. Last night at the council, they had a public hearing on smoking in parks, and now I can't think of her name. Oh goodness, the lady from Ledgelight Health District, Carolyn Wilson. She attended the council and spoke on behalf of Ledgelight Health District, and her takeaway was that the council was in strong support of restricting smoking on both cigarettes and cannabis products on municipally owned land, which would include beaches and parks and whatnot. So I think the council is going to be moving forward with an ordinance so that there's some teeth in it. So at this point, I'm not sure that there's anything for the commission to do unless the commission wanted to write a letter to the council saying that they were in either support or opposed to, what, as far as smoking within parks or municipal land, which would.
Does does the council have the power to also include the Board of Ed and the districts, fields and land?
I believe that those are considered town property. They're managed by the Board of Ed. So I think that those, if that ordinance was passed, that would include school properties, which
Could you,
are essentially town properties.
could you find out about that? Because
Sure.
I would support it if it is inclusive of all activities, games held outdoors and whatnot.
Yes, I will check on that.
And that included vaping as well, right?
Yes.
Mark, during the council discussion, did anyone bring up the idea of having a identified smoking area? That was a strategy that was included in the National Parks and Rec article.
Oh, okay.
I know that when we went to a non-smoking hospital at L&M, that one of the ways we were able to do that was designating a safe place for people who had to smoke to smoke. Recognizing the stress it puts on people who are smokers.
Right. Yeah, I to be honest with you, I did not listen to the whole council meeting last night. So I'm not sure if that idea had been thrown out. And again, that may be something that if the commission wanted to, include in their letter to the council, that, that might be a suggestion, to have designated smoking areas, within municipal properties. I don't know how the rest of the commission feels about that. It could get a little tricky trying to manage, there would have to be really clear signage. And if you're smoking at a game, depending on where the designated area is, the smoke could still travel and be impacting others that aren't even, nearby.
Right.
Yeah, just to echo what Mark said, having been an athlete at one point, and when people were smoking, if the wind was blowing the wrong way, trying to take a breath of air was not good. So if we do have the designated areas, we have to make sure it would be in an area where it wouldn't blow into the place where the athletes or whoever was doing the activities were. So there would have to be studies done probably to figure out where it would be, right, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty tricky to define an area where you knew the wind wasn't going to blow in a direction that it would impact, kids at a playground or people on the beach, or I'm really not sure how we could successfully do that.
Yeah, I would not support that either. They could, I guess the people could smoke in their cars if they choose to.
Right.
So that could be the designated area. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than having one, how do you regulate it? And not only that, but after they finish their cigarette, now you're gonna have what? You're gonna have a filthy place.
Pile of cigarette butts, yeah.
Or now you have to have one of those plastic ashtray things that they have. So
Yeah.
I would frown on that.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why when I read the article that the National Parks and Rec group were recommending it, because I couldn't figure out how you'd implement it in an outdoor environment.
Right.
So, but I just throw it out there as one of their recommendations.
Okay. Mark, you want to have some discussion about meeting dates? Is that keeping the same dates or same days and times?
Yeah, so by the end of the year, I need to provide to the town clerk a list of meeting dates for the upcoming year. So at various meetings, this has been one of the agenda items, and I thought, well, we might as well just talk about it now. It shouldn't take that long. Historically, we've met every single month but August. I think this year we might have taken, oh, I'm sorry. We meet every single month but July. And I think this year we might have switched because I was going to be away on vacation. It's traditionally been 7 o'clock. Usually we're at the senior center. I think at some point we'll be going back to in-person meetings. And, it's always been, what is it, the second Wednesday of the month. So I don't know if there's any strong feelings about making a change, or whether we continue with the second Wednesday, 7 o'clock every month except July.
So I have a question. I know just because my husband's on the RTM, it seems like the RTM meetings always overlap with our meetings. Is that done for a reason, or?
No, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that happens. There are, there's planning and zoning is on the second Wednesday of the month. So there's always conflicting meetings and overlapping meetings. In your case, your husband happens to be on a different group and has a meeting at the same time.
Yeah, it also, like the parking lot and all that is crowded when that happens too. It's a little bit more difficult to deal with the meetings being on the same night. Just an observation. I'm not sure if there is a reason it has to be on Wednesdays or if that works best for everybody here, but I'd be open to doing it another night just so it doesn't overlap, but that's just me.
Yeah. If we are going to change, I would stay away from Tuesday nights because that's when the council meets, and so if I was, that would be another night that would conflict with my schedule, because the council meets every single Tuesday, either the council of the whole or the council. So I would not recommend changing it to Tuesdays.
Would Thursday work?
Yeah, Thursday works. I'm just trying to think of my schedule. Yeah, Thursday works for me. Athletic Field Task Force meets on Thursday, but that's only 4 times a year, and we meet at 4 o'clock. So that wouldn't create a conflict.
Do we want to table this and so people can look at their schedules and just confirm that Thursday would be a good date?
Francis, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Say off the top of my head, the Thursday will work for me.
Okay. So I'll put it under old business for December, and then we can check our calendars and maybe make that change.
And Mark, I'm going to look through my emails. You said you sent out that email about the last week. Sherry and I were in Iceland last week, so I didn't get an opportunity to take a peek at it. So anyway.
Okay. All right. How was Iceland?
It was really fun. It's a lot of fun.
Great. Did you go into any of those hot pools there?
Gosh, that's all I have is hot pools. And yeah, we went to the very touristy Blue Lagoon and
okay. Yeah.
but all their housing comes from geothermal and
Yeah.
the volcanoes. So it's
Yeah.
a very, very interesting place. So
Yeah, yeah. My son and his wife went there a couple of years ago to do like a 30-mile road race.
is
Uh,
that right? Wow.
yeah, yeah. And my daughter and her husband are going there like 2 weeks before Christmas
Okay.
for 4 or 5 days. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
That's-
yeah.
It's on my bucket list. We were slated to go there in June of 2020.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
That didn't work out and we never got to
oh,
reschedule, but someday I hope it
yeah.
was beautiful, Dom, and that you enjoyed yourself.
It was, and over 90% of their people are vaccinated.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Good for
quite
them.
surprised by that figure. So,
Yeah. And did you have to show proof of vaccination in order to get in or?
you did.
what?
You had
Yeah.
to get tested 72 hours prior.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and then they, coming back, we had to do a rapid test to get
Yeah.
back into the States. So,
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. Huh. I do have one item that I forgot to put on under new business, and that would be, the department is putting together an ad hoc committee to work on a mural project at the
Mhm.
community center. So our plans are the entrance that most people go in, there's a really big brick wall to the right, which is the side of the gym. And then there's another brick wall off to the left and a smaller brick wall in front where the walkway is that kind of connects the two sections of the building. We're putting together an ad hoc committee to kind of come up with mural guidelines and come up with the whole process of going through and interviewing artists or having artists submit projects to us and evaluating them. And one of the people that we would like on the Mural Project, this ad hoc committee, is a member from the commission. So I was hoping that we could get somebody to step forward to say that they would be part of this. We would probably have a meeting in December. The whole project would wrap up sometime in July. And I would see us meeting maybe a couple of times a month for the first month or so when we put the whole RFP together. And then, as artists submit their work, and we would be reviewing and whatnot. So the commitment would be about 6 months.
Well, I would volunteer, except you have all heard tonight that I can't even recognize an icon. So I don't know if you want me to do it.
Well, Elizabeth, if you want to do it, I think that would be great.
I'd be happy.
And we'd love to have you.
And can I ask, sorry, is this for the outside of the building or the inside?
Outside of the building.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Cool.
Yes, yep. We got some money from the council a couple of years ago, and our plan is to use that money, and there would be a community, we would do some crowd sharing, fundraising to raise enough money to hire a professional artist to do this and provide them with the resources that they would need. And murals are something that just really enhance a building. They make it much more attractive and interesting. And we feel that building could use a little pick-me-up, if you will, have seen projects that other Parks and Recreation departments have done, and they're just stunning. And we're hopeful that we can get the same kind of beautiful mural on the outside of the building.
It's a neat idea.
Yeah.
And
All
by the
right.
way, Mark, where the trees are in the back by the playscape.
Oh,
that
that's
really-
right.
That
Yeah.
really came out nice.
Oh, good. Yeah,
They
Dom, I'm
did a-
sorry. I
They did it,
forgot to mention.
they did a
Good.
wonderful job
Good.
planting all the different trees and
Yeah,
quite impressive.
yeah. Yeah, I meant to mention that the tree had gone in. So,
Yep.
good, good. Well, thank you for that.
Okay, so our next meeting is,
December 8th.
Right?
I'm looking it up. I'm not sure.
December 8th.
Oh, December 8th. That's
Yep.
what you just said.
Yes.
Hello.
You're so nice.
Yeah.
That must be the jet lag.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, right.
Anyway, anybody like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I can do
I-
that.
All right, and I'll second it or third it or whatever. But
All in favor?
Bye.
Wonderful.
Great meeting, great to see everybody. See you in
Yes.
December.
Okay.
Good to see
Bye.
you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Yes,
Thanks.
Thanksgiving.
You too.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.